Alrighty, PG-13. This is 1989. Sargent slaughters Marauders. And we have the Sarge. We have Footloose, but we're missing his helmet. Obviously Mutt. And I do have his dog Junkyard. And well, my barbecue there needs a new arm. But I gave him a hand transplant. I just chopped the hand off and glued on another. Just for the time being. Actually, it doesn't look too bad. And well, I don't have low light. I need to get low light and Spirit with his Eagle Freedom. And as you can see, they don't list any of the names here. So you gotta know your Joes when you're doing your reviews. Oh yeah. Now we do have the Equalizer right there, the Lynx, and my custom Equalizer, and the Armadillo. I'm missing 2 missiles for that, but it shouldn't be too hard to find. Now let's take a look at the Lynx. The Lynx here is pretty cool. It's got the same cannon as the Molar tank. I wonder if you could add that in with like do a custom, use this. You might be able to with this bottom and just paint the rest. But the Lynx here is just like the Wolverine tank. Exactly the same. There is a custom package you can get to turn this into a tow vehicle. And this is not too bad. This is a cool medium-sized tank. Just look at that. Oh, I love the camouflage they've done. Looks pretty awesome. And I think there's a country that actually copied this camouflage. I think it might have been China. Oh. So it is interesting, but nonetheless, this is pretty cool. And again, it's got the same little pegs. These ones are all intact, but you know, if they would have made these thicker, they will not snap. But this, you know, is pretty rough and tumble. And you know, if these parts break off, you can always glue on a piece and it blends in pretty nice and no one knows the difference. You just have to cut it to fit in. Now, the Equalizer tank, well, this one obviously holds 1. And well, there's a tow hook that's always missing. I do have a tow hook for this one, for the Equalizer. And we'll take a quick look at the Armadillo. So we're gonna move the custom Equalizer out of the way for now. We'll have a look at that after. We're gonna bring in the tiny little Armadillo tank. Now this tank is junk. I mean, it does look cool, but again, it's, you know, the back kind of doesn't ride too cool, and it doesn't really have a tow hook. It does have a hole here, and you know how the other Armadillo tank is with a little bar in the back. That looks way nicer. This one doesn't have it. This one just has reuse of the same missiles, you know, which kind of sucks because they don't really fit in it. It looks like it should. They should go in deeper, but they don't. So, really sucks. These missiles are obviously from the Equalizer. And well, G.I.Joe got a little bit cheap. You know, this should have had cannons. It would have looked cooler with the missile rack and a longer cannon or longer cannons to counterbalance the weight, because it just rides like this. And yes, it has 2 pegs in the back, so you can have 3 figures for this little cheesy little vehicle. I mean, the camo does look nice. You might be able to switch these out with another Armadillo, so you can just make it a regular tank. I mean, I have a whole bunch of these if you've seen in my other reviews. Now, this Armadillo, or sorry, the Equalizer tank, it always had its bad design flaws. So, I mean, you could make a part and glue it so it sticks, because these tank skirts, you know, it snaps off on this one. And I mean, it is an awesome looking tank. It almost looks like those German tanks that they sent, the Terminator, or even the Russian Terminator tank. Let's just get these figures out of the way here, and we'll put the Sarge in the tank here. Now this tank does hold 3 figures. There is no pegs on it. I am missing one of the rubbers for this. And it does have a little radar dish, some guns. Like, it is a beautiful tank. Would you look at that? Just a beautiful tank. But again, it would have been cooler if they would have put the cannon on this, you know? Have the same type of cannon as the Mauler tank, plus these little cannons, plus the missiles. You could redesign this, and again, it would look nicer. But it almost looks like the Russian Terminator tank, or that other vehicle that was sent from Germany there to the Ukraine to shoot down enemy aircraft. This one does have a little ratchet. My other one, well, it's not working well. There is other attachments you can buy for these. People make on ESTY, or maybe eBay. And again, you know, this does not have the same, like, why didn't Hasbro make more of these? These are freaking cool. I love the tanks. And they should have made the Mauler in a camouflage as well as winter camouflaged. Like, they could have had a lot more, you know what I mean? There is room for 2, just like in the Mauler tank there. You can put 2 in there. And this is hollow inside where the Slaughter sits. We're just gonna put that there. This thing does fold down, and you can see, oh, I got a little weapon in there. You can see it's let's get that little weapon out of there. It's pretty bare bones in there, you know. They didn't even make a seat or anything. So it's kind of, I don't know, kind of incomplete. Now this radar piece is missing a lot, as well as the antennas. And it does have one of the smoke grenade launchers. I think I'm missing another one, but I think it's compatible. Let's see. If this one comes off. Yeah, this one just slides off. So again, it's not too hard to find too many parts for this, but again, I'm missing one of the little mud flap things on the bottom. It does have a tow hook, and you can see those little tabs tend to break off, but this side has all the tabs. So, you know, you can take one of your parts buttons, cut off a tab, fix the bottom tab here, and that might hold this on. I mean, the tank skirts do come off, but it does look better with it. And it's got the 2 engine covers and whatnot. Now my custom, when I did have Star Wars, I used some of the leftover parts, and I thought that would look friggin' awesome. So here's my custom here. Now I used the Mauler skirts because I had extras, so I painted it all camouflage. It looks pretty cool. Well, it's like a green, but it's got a little bit of camouflage in there, gray, I guess, green and gray. So I guess I could have added a little brown, but obviously with all that's going on in the world, you can't find paints. I think I said China's probably using all the paint for their vehicles. Now this is from an AT-AT, that newer one that came out for the Black Series. And I thought, oh, this would look awesome. So I drilled some holes here. Drilled it like that, like a slot. So you can move this around. You can have your own cannon. And I painted it a little bit gray and green, I guess. There's a little bit of paint on this anyways. So it does look cool. And you could probably fire these little rockets right off. These can fire off. So this is not too bad of a custom. It looked better than having that big radar thing on it. And I'm missing obviously the radar dish for this. And well, now that I have one, I might try to remake it. But again, so I do have the antenna pieces for this and the missiles, but my ratchet doesn't seem to hold too well for this one. But it is awesome. So that's what you can do with your spare ones. You can get other parts. I need the mud flaps, but you know, you might be able to make these, or yeah, you might even be able to make it out of rubber. Oh, cut it out. So this is the awesome equalizer, Sargent Slaughter's Equalizer. And well, it sucks that it's so hard to find Spirit, because I think people are charging way too much for a Spirit. And low lights, he's in the lower range, so he shouldn't be hard to get. But again, you usually don't want to just buy 1 or 2 figures at a time. I'd rather buy a lot of figures at a time, and that way you're not going to waste too much money on shipping, because that's what kills you. I mean, when I did have a huge Star Wars collection, well, a lot of the vehicles were all same as G.I.Joe though. If you order like a larger vehicle, you're going to pay a little bit of shipping. It all depends. But anyways, I do love the cool paint job, and I just wish they would have remade this tank again with a Muller hull, or Muller, yeah, the tank turret on top in the camouflage color. Come on, Hasbro, give us a camouflage Muller tank, as well as an Arctic one. That would be fantastic. An Arctic Lynx, and even with another Equalizer plus a Muller, that would make for a cool HasLab. And it doesn't have to be motorized. I do not care if it's motorized or not. You know? Like, or redesign the Equalizer. Call it the Terminator, like the Russians have. Call it the T3, T6. Anyways, that's what all Sargent Slaughter's Marauders only had. The 3 vehicles were in 1989. And well, they could have made more Marauders, but anyone out there wants to donate me an arm for my barbecue, or send me parts, or even just, you know, send me a Spirit or a low light, or even the parts, you know, that would be awesome. That would be fantastic. And well, you know, a lot of people had the same problem that I had with the Scarlet. You know, the bow is not complete, and well, that really sucks that Hasbro just didn't care. And well, I do have 2 aces, but you know, you can hear it right now. We're opening up the aces, so he'll be in the next video along with Ripcord. I'm going to open him.